What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we're going to be reviewing another game from the lovely folks over at Brain Games. We're going to be reviewing Farm Rescue. Now, full disclosure, this game was provided by the lovely folks at Brain Game so that I could do a review. It's still weird to me that I've gotten to the point where companies will send me review copies of games, but rather than argue, I'm just going to start doing more reviews on this channel and telling you what I think about it. Now, quick addendum as we start here. I'm trying to see where... there we go. Now, if you have a look at the age of this game, it says 4+. And I'll be honest with you, this game skews kind of young. I think if you are a 20-year-old dude who likes playing Pokemon with your friends or Keyforge or some of the other games I have a look at on this channel, I don't think this game is probably for you. If, however, you have young children of somewhere around 4 to 8, then I think you can absolutely enjoy this game. I played this game with my sister, my wife, and my nieces who are 4 and 6, and we had an absolute blast with this game. I really enjoyed this game. I had a huge amount of fun. And my wife and sister, who, let's just say early 30s, they both really got into this. And that makes me really happy. So, if we have a look at the components to start off, what you end up with is basically a little bit of a board, which I think is going to be too long for our mat here, which takes me a weirdly long time to actually figure out how to make. But you end up with a square board, and you've got a farmer, and you've got a wolf. We're not going to be able to make it. We don't have the room. There's a wolf, there's a farmer. And, very helpfully, you get yourself a little farmer and a little wolf. And they are adorable plastic models. I love the care that's been taken, going into these. The components here, I'm a fan. You get yourself a bunch of tiles that are coloured animals. So we've got purple sheep, not that I consider purple to be a real colour, and green cow, and so on. And then we get ourselves 2 dice. A dice for animal and a dice for colour. Although both of the dice do have, and they are adorably printed, don't know how easy they are to fade. I've not had weeks of play here. And then we've got any colour and any animal. So what you do is you have the farmer on the farmer square and the wolf on the wolf square. And then you've got just a whole bunch of these coloured tiles that you put out randomly. And then what you do is you roll your 2 dice and it gives you an animal colour combination. Though, of course, you may end up with any animal or any colour. And if you do, brilliant. So, we roll them up and we end up with purple cow. So, you find the purple cow, which is... I put out so many things and it was one of the ones I didn't put out. So we find the purple cow and we flip the purple cow over. And what you're trying to do is flip over all the animals, because essentially when the animals are flipped over, they are hidden from the wolf, and the aim of the game is stopping the wolf getting in and taking out all of your animals. So what you're trying to do here is roll the dice and then turn over the animals. So I've got yellow any animal, let's go yellow pig gets turned over. Now there are basically 2 ways to win the game. One is to catch the wolf, the other is to turn over all of your animals. Although, as we're going to talk about in a minute, I think one of those is way more likely to happen than the other. In that I played a bunch of games and we had the same result in every game. We never turned over all the tiles, we won by catching the wolf. But then again, it is a game you can play with 4-year-olds, so you've got to take that into account. Now, what might happen, unfortunately, is that you roll... Is that a yellow cow? No, it's purple cow. That's a yellow pig. So what might happen is you roll a yellow pig. Well, hang on a second. We've already turned over the yellow pig. What are we going to do? And what you have to do, this is where it turns into a memory game. You have to find the yellow pig And if you successfully turn over the yellow pig, the farmer moves forward one space closer to catching the wolf. If, however, you turn over the wrong square, then the wolf moves forward one space. And eventually the wolf will get to the entrance. And if the wolf gets round to the entrance, he gets into the pen, he gets the animals. So the wolf is trying to get in, the farmer's trying to get round. It is a fully cooperative game. There's no competition going on here. Each player is working together to try and stop that dastardly wolf. Incidentally, the theme here, kids love farmyard animals. Stopping wolves is easy to get behind. Yelling at plastic wolves is fun. My nieces and I had great fun yelling at the wolf. And we stopped him every time, incidentally. That wolf never got no animals. Never got any animals. Grammar is important. And like in my previous video, I'm going to have to interrupt myself again because I got a copy of Farm Rescue which I can give away to one of you lovely ladies and gentlemen. The lovely folks at Brain Games gave me a second copy, so rather than open it and play with it and review it, I thought, well, I've already done that. So why don't I give one away to one of you lovely ladies and gentlemen? So all I need from you is pop a comment down below, tell me what is the best farmyard animal and why, and I'm going to pick my favourite answer and I'm going to send them a copy of Farm Rescue. Although please do make sure that you've got notifications on so that when I respond to your comment, which is how I'm going to let the winner know that they've won, you will be able to know, or else I'm going to have to pick someone else and that'll be sad. So comment down below, favourite farmyard animal and why. And I'm going to pick one of you and I'm going to send you this game because I think you should play it because it's a lot of fun. Alright, back to the video. So, the goal here is to try and roll, although again it's dice, it's random. You're trying to roll to flip over all the animals. If you roll for an animal that's already been flipped over, you have to try and remember where that animal is. Correct, farmer moves forward one. Incorrect, wolf moves forward one. And there are 3 results in the game. Farmer catches wolf, you win. All the animals get flipped over, you win. Wolf gets to the entrance and gets in, you lose. Now, one of my issues with the game, and I don't think it really affects the fun of playing the game, but certainly if you want to play it as kind of a competitive, we're going to do this, I think it does. I don't think you're ever going to flip all the tiles over. And if you've got a half-decent memory, you're going to win every game. Because essentially what happens is, for the first few turns, you just flip over a bunch of animal tiles. And then you start repeating them. Now, I was playing with my wife and my sister, and between the 3 of us, we could basically just remember all the animals were. Now, my 6-year-old niece, almost 7, she could remember where a bunch of the animals were. I'll be honest, my 4-year-old niece, she was, not great at remembering where the animals were. But I'll tell you what, she dug the design of the game, she dug the wolf, the farmer, all the components, she loved all of that, and she enjoyed rolling the dice and flipping over the animals. She played it on a far simpler level than we did, but she still very much enjoyed it. The problem is, you remember where they all are, so you'll make the odd mistake and the wolf will go forward a space, but then so the farmer goes forward more. And then, of course, you've got the I can win every time, because you're going to end up, at some point, flipping the any colour dice, or the any animal dice, sometimes both. At which point, you'll probably be able to remember where some, if not all of them are, so you can then deliberately pick, oh, I know where the yellow pig is, so if I flipped any colour pig, I'll just flip the yellow pig, so that I can put the farmer forward a space, and in a half-dozen games we played, they all ended with farmer catching the wolf. Especially now, again, you can always put in house rules to try and stop this happening, but we would get to the stage where we're like, well, we could flip over the blue pig, or we could find the yellow pig to move forward a space, and in every game there came a point where we just stopped going after flipping all of the tiles and just went to catch the wolf. I'm sure if you play enough games, you will eventually flip over all the tiles. We never got to that stage. Now, the rulebook's very, very simple. Really, that's just a front page showing what you get. And then there's one page and a second page of rules. And honestly, down here you've got kind of further explanation. Then here you've got credits and the younger game, you know, a special game for younger players. Really, that's like the entire game. It's extremely simple, ladies and gentlemen. And it's fun, it skews young, and we never lost. Not only did we never lose, but I think the way the game is designed inevitably puts us towards catching the wolf every game and not flipping over the tiles. But again, I mean, if we think about this logically, if you've got all these tiles out, let's put the rest of them out. If you've got all these tiles on the board, and you've flipped over all but 2 of them, what do we think the likelihood is that you're actually going to get... Oh, so we've got 25 tiles. What is the likelihood that you're actually going to find the last 2 remaining? What are the chances you're actually going to flip the yellow chicken, or one of the special ones to allow you to flip it? You're just going to keep unflipping them and then catching the wolf. Or the wolf's going to get away. It starts off with fun recognition and turns into a memory game. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think that diminished my niece's enjoyment of the game. But there was a part of me where every game I'd start going, right, we've got 2 spaces to get the wolf. Let's just flip over ones. We know where they are, so we can go and get the wolf. Now, I do have one thing which I am actually slightly unhappy about with the game. We've got yellow and we've got green. Now, for many of you, that's probably not a problem. I am well, there are 1 in 7 guys in the world are colourblind. I am colourblind. If I put them side by side and really concentrate, yeah, I get them. But when I'm rolling the die especially, I don't always know if I flipped green or yellow. Now, your purple and blue are better, because the purple's quite dark, but not perfect. But in the half dozen games I played, there were several instances where the yellow and green were awkward and did cause issues. So, overall, it is a young game, and it is a game that you play with your kids, your nieces, etc. For what it is, I'm giving it between 3 and 4 Wossies. We don't give half Wossies, that would be barbaric. We had a lot of fun with this game. We played it for, oh goodness, a couple hours. We took a break in the middle and went back to it. And we really enjoyed it. And we had a whole heap of fun. I think the rules are set up to really make you win more often than not, which I don't think is a bad problem when it skews as young as 4. And I do think that although there are 2 win conditions, in reality, one is going to come up 90% of the time or more. I think there is a slight issue with colourblindness. Although, as long as one person playing isn't colourblind, you can get around it. Anyone who's watching it colourblind, you know what I mean. But overall, if you want a nice, colourful game, especially if you're looking for a barnyard theme, to play with younger children, kind of 4 to 7, yeah. I think you can do an awful lot worse, ladies and gentlemen. So there we go. That's what I think about this, but I'd like to know what you think. Have you played it? Do you think it looks good? Do you think it is good if you've played it? Are you looking to play it? Tell me your thoughts. Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and follow me on Twitter at @TheWossy, where we talk about games. Whatever games take our fancy. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.